Hello. Oh, where's my camera?
I was going to say, your camera's not there. I've got the invisible lady.
Well,
Oh,
hello and welcome to Just a Moment. My name is Kristen Harding. We are having some technical difficulties, so I do apologize.
it's
I am
okay.
wondering, I am wondering what I need to do here. Hmm. Let's see.
Maybe going into your settings and maybe clicking on the camera to see if that'll help in the
I
bottom of your
tried.
screen. Yes.
Yep, I tried. And so let me see. You can hear me all right, though,
I
right?
can hear you fine. I just can't see you.
Okay. Okay. Well, if not else, I can just ask you the questions and they can just see you.
We have the
Yep.
invisible lady on her show. She's there
Well,
as you can hear, but you can't see her.
as I am
Maybe it's
invisible.
maybe it's my magical powers.
Alrighty, well, let us see what we can do here. Um, Settings, no, that won't do it. Oh, this is the first time this has ever happened to me. So let
That's
me
what I'm
see if
saying.
I
Very
can.
weird. Weird things happen when I go on some shows. So I don't know,
Well,
but I can hear you perfectly fine.
let's try it on a different layout and see if that will allow me to continue. And I do apologize.
Mhm.
Let's see. Now
That's
we're
okay.
both gone. Now we're both gone. All right, let's try something different. Layout. And we are going to try something a little different and go there and see now if either of us.
Hi everyone. Christine. Christine, are you there?
Hello, can you hear
Hello?
me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, let's just do it this way. You can be the star of the show, and I will ask you the questions, all right?
Okay, yeah, no, that's no problem.
Excellent. So please introduce yourself.
So I'm Willow, known spiritually, but also Sherry is my real name. I am an investigator of all things strange and unknown. I am a witch and I am a training Celtic Druid shaman. And I have communication with spirit and I have communication with the Fae and other dimensional beings.
Wow. When did this manifest for you? Have you always had these
Since I
abilities?
was 5,
Oh, that's a beautiful
yeah, I
age.
was very young.
Did you
Yeah,
see?
even as a baby, it's even as a baby, my mum and that used to say, and my godmum used to say that I would just sit there babbling into corners of rooms and things, but like at nothing because they couldn't see anything. But I was most definitely giggling and talking to some things around me. So yeah, in baby language.
So you see what others do not. Can you describe for us what you see?
Well, I've always been able, since I was 5 years old, to be able to communicate with the spirit world. So I've been able to see spirit and talk to spirit to an extent. It's more seeing, feeling, and getting premonitions, but I can hear to an extent with them. But when I communicate with energies such as the Fae and dragons and things like that, I can hear them fully, as I do my spirit guides and the other energies that I work with. So very much in tune with the spirit side, and obviously being a witch as well opens me even more so to it. And I've got a very big connection to nature. I talk and communicate with trees and plants and stuff. I can just have conversation and hear other energy as well as see it.
That's wonderful. So did you said when you were little that you could see them and they never went away for you. Is that
No,
correct?
they've never,
See,
ever, ever left me. There's been a few times in my life when I was a lot younger, when I found it really difficult to open up to them. I wasn't really sure of it because I was really scared of them.
right,
Like at 5 years old, like as a baby, I was quite open, but at 5 years old, seeing these spirits, seeing these energies turn up to me, scared me. So I tried to not interact with them, but they would never leave. Then obviously as I got older, I did try several times to come away from it, but I'm not supposed to be closed. And then that's when I decided to start looking into myself, looking into who I am. I'd done research and found out at school that, you know, about spirits and what I was seeing and about different abilities and stuff. And a lot of the stuff that I'd seen on this computer, because when I was at school, computers had just come out. So there was
right.
a lot of information, and it just radiated with everything that I was going through from 5 upwards. So going through that, I said, well, what other sort of things could I be being like that? So then it come up about witches and things like that. And I had a lot of links to witches as well. So when I'd left school, that's when I really started to look into my witchcraft and that. So I was about 16, 17 when I started to look into that. I started going out on investigations just with people, but over time people said, you know, you've got like the knack, you've got a talent, Sherry, so you should use it because you're really good at what you do. And obviously by then I'd become open to spirit and everything, to the point that I would communicate with them, and I would communicate with the other energies that are involved with me, the Fae being one of my main, because they're just absolutely extraordinary. And I have a very close communication with these energies. And over my years of dedication and having love for nature, doing things for them when they ask me, it's built a very good relationship between me and the Fae, as well as the spirit people and my deities.
Hmm.
So it's always been very interesting, but I wasn't always open to it. Like, yes, I could see, feel, but I was very scared of it. And
Understandably, because we are from childhood on taught not to be in touch with nature, not to be in touch with spirit, not to be in touch with all of those things that are there. But, and the, oh, I think I
in,
went away
yes,
again.
no, you're there. I can hear you.
Oh,
In other
good.
societies, oh, I can see you as well. Look, they're
Oh,
giving you the magic
fabulous.
back. There you go.
Yay!
I
Well,
can see it.
I have total respect for the fairies. I have in my lifetime, when I was a child, I had forgotten about it and was reminded, but I saw them, but I was taught not to because they were spooky and they were scary and they were, dark and evil. And I'm like, but they're beautiful. They're, to me, they were just little wonderful creatures of light. So
They,
I
they are.
lost I
They
lost
are.
my ability. I'm sorry?
Like they are. They're beautiful energies to work with, but don't misunderstand them and
Mm,
think that they wouldn't switch, because they would if you do something wrong. They
right.
are very mischievous. They do like to play tricks on you, but if you build that sort of relationship with them, they don't intend to be that way. They might move things every now and again, maybe give one of my friends a fright when they come round because something just comes off the unit, but that's just them. And I'm used to that. That's my home. So
Right?
you'll probably see little flickers every now and again come through the camera. I've noticed the last few times you'll see them. There was one on a drumming stream that I'd done just recently, and she come up to my face. You could see her little light just shine near my ear. They're just
Could
amazing.
you
But
could could you
they're not energies that you should just go into communicating with. You do need to build a relationship with them. You need to be able to understand them. You have to have respect for things that they love and that they are part of, which is nature, Mother Earth, Mother Nature, and that they're very much about looking after the flowers, the animals, trees, all those sort of things, as well as the universe and us to an
they
extent.
visit they
But
visit my garden.
yes, I've actually got a fairy garden done last year, and because of lovely UK weather, it decided to whiplash all of my fairy garden. So I've just literally been out there this week, just a couple of days ago. Me and my sister, she's just over on the sofa. We were out there. We built my fairies a shelter to put their houses under. We've done all these artificial flowers and real flowers in the garden, and they always come to my garden. They come in my house as well, because they're open to me, and I'm open to them. I've welcomed them, because even though they can come round and they may come in your home, they won't always directly communicate with you till you say that it's okay to do that. They're not that sort of energy. They're not just going to start talking to you. Unless you acknowledge them from a young age and you're intrigued by them, they will. But
Right.
you do need to ask out to these sort of energies and show them you appreciate them and that you like them around you. And always remember that they're very powerful little people. And
Yes.
they have a lot of rules that are not like ours, and they're not completely open to all human. They do not trust human. It's only certain people and certain people that are gifted and open that they will communicate with, and witches are one of them.
Right.
Definitely.
This is a little bit random, but by any chance, do you have Celtic blood?
I have got a ancestral backward dialogue of Irish, but I also have Jamaican blood as well. My mum was half Jamaican and half white.
Okay. So
So
different
there's both sides.
lines, but
But
same
I have
energy.
always felt connected to Celtic things.
Right?
I've always had weird dreams to do with Celtic things. I'm into Celtic music. I'm into the way that they dress. I've got clothing. I've got all sorts of things. I've just always felt that connection, same as the native tradition.
Same here.
Yeah. And
I
they're
wonder,
beautiful, beautiful religions,
sometimes
aren't they? Beautiful
they
faith.
are,
So
they are,
natural.
they're natural and intuitive, and
Yes.
you understand them, whereas unfortunately, the religions of man kind of indoctrinate you and throw rules at you. And so to be able to just relax and commune with nature, that's been my church now for many, many years. It doesn't mean that I don't have a very strong connection to source creator, but I don't
Oh,
buy the stuff of, let's say traditional religion.
yeah, no. See, like, I believe in, like, the creator that they all call God. It's just that I
Mhm.
see him in a completely different way. I don't believe that he's a man that's up there. I believe that he is an energy. He's the energy of the universe. Universe is God.
Right?
God is in everything,
Yep,
and you
I
can
agree
talk to
with
him
you.
wherever you want. And I just never felt a connection in a church. My nan was a Christian, so I did go to church when I was younger, but I just never felt that passion and that love being in that church. But when I was in nature, I was open.
Right?
I felt everything I wanted to feel in that church, in nature. And going through my faith and learning about what I was made me even more determined. The only reason I really went to church was just to support my nan. I already had my faith. I already had my love. Already knew what I was. So, and I've stuck to that.
Imagine, imagine what our world would be if more children were encouraged to be who they are and not taught to be what they shouldn't.
Exactly. Like, my nan never ever said anything to me. It was only when I got older. Like, there was a couple of times we had a bit of a disagreement, but then she just said, "Look, you're you, and I love you for how you are," and she accepted that. And she'd even sit there when I would talk about, like, investigations, talk about things that I'd seen, and she'd had experiences herself, which she's not meant to as a Christian, because that's what you're taught, that, yeah, because I was baptized and things when I was a baby, but my faith is my witch faith and my native faith, and that's what I love. And nature, Mother Earth and Mother Nature are my true love. They are my mothers. Like, obviously my family are important, but that they are just the true inspiration that's led my heart for all these years.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Your main connection, I remember from the show that I met you on.
Yeah,
May I say her name?
you may.
Thank you. Her name is Primrose, correct?
That is correct, yes.
So, do all fairies have names of flowers?
No, they have
Okay.
many different names, but certain fairies that are, connected to certain flowers will sometimes be named after their flowers. Now, Primrose is the name that she gives to me, but her true name is never revealed. They're not
No.
allowed to give us their true name, because then we can have power over them, and I would not want that. It's just as we're not supposed to tell them our real names either. They're not meant to know our name. So
Right.
obviously, before coming on here, I had to do like a mind ritual so that they can't come in while I'm doing this, because can't have them hearing my real name.
Right.
I've got energies that are aware of my name,
Okay.
but they speak of that, and they have been with me since I was 5. That is Primrose, as being one of them.
Okay.
So you might see Primrose, but the other ones I've had to keep out because it's too dangerous on both sides for us to know our true names. So Primrose is a pixie, and she's connected to the primrose flower. She looks and cares after the primrose flower, but she does look after other plants and stuff. All fairies look after all wildlife and things, but they have specific things they're connected to. It could be a tree, it could be a stone, it could be a plant, it could be anything. There's so many things in this world they're connected to, as well as the universe and the planets. So they're just a true and extraordinary energy. And when I hear people turn around and go, oh, they're these little spirits, some of them look like they are, but they're not. They're a physical being, just
Right.
from another. When
Like a different
I see them as
dimension?
clear as I see you,
Right.
with the flesh. They don't look like they're dead. They don't look like anything like that. They're just there. They're beautiful. And they're in so many different forms as well. They don't all look human. You've got ones that look like little twigs, and they've got branches coming out their heads. There's so many different types. It's unbelievable.
As many types as we can imagine, that's how
Oh
many
yes,
there
and
really
probably
are.
haven't found all of them either.
Right? Oh,
Yeah,
that is so exciting to me
and
that they.
there is a light and a dark side. You know what I mean? You've got
Mhm.
your sea lion, you've got your unsea lion quartz, but that doesn't mean good and bad. They have a different energy to us. And
Yes.
you've got ones that are more accepting to you, and you've got some that are not. Yes,
Mhm.
the darker side can be very dangerous, can do very evil things to you, but that's only on the really worst scenarios. And I've never really heard very much that people have had it to that extent where they lose their life or anything like that, like they've been depicted in these books. And that's why I'm here to do this education, because I've learned with them naturally. I've been educated and taught by them. I've been told which ones to go near and which ones not to go near. They've always looked out for me. So I want to be able to educate other people to do that, because everybody sees bad side and good side in everything. And the fairies are not good or bad. They can
Right.
go either way. It's how you treat them and how you betray them that makes them how they're going to be.
That makes total sense.
You just got to have certain ones just won't mingle with human, because if they've
Right.
seen what human do, and that is not them. The only way they ever really attack you is if you go into their area and you disrupt something or you disrespect it.
Right.
You know
It
what
would
I mean?
have to
So
be something negative, very negative,
yes, because
for
they
them.
9 times out of 10, the darker side will just leave you alone. They will not entertain you. They'll leave you alone. It's only when you disrespect them that they retaliate. And so can the light side. The light side will as well.
Right.
They're there. They trust me. They love me, but they're weary, and they will always be weary because I have a human body. The only thing that makes it different is because I've been in their realm as a fairy, and from what I've been told, I wanted to come as human, to be around human, to educate human more. So I took human form. So they know who I am. I know my fairy name, but I
Thank
cannot
you.
reveal that to you because when I die, I go back to them.
Right.
So,
Well, thank
and
you.
they're all in the light realm with human. We're all together in the other realm, in the other place. There is no dividing.
Why do you think parents try to dissuade or encourage their children not to believe?
I think a lot of it does fall down to religion and faith and what they're taught. I think for some others, it's maybe because they fear what's on the other side. They're scared. They don't understand it. They may have had experiences, but don't ever want to recall those experiences ever again. So, for that reason, is why they do that. I think some of them do it for protection, and I think some do push the religion side on too much. I think that every being has the opportunity and has the express to be able to be what they want to be. You shouldn't be able to tell them what they're going to be, and you should love them no matter which way they are.
Exactly.
And my mum, luckily for me, long later in life, I'd found out from my mum that my mum was actually like me when she was younger. So I got my abilities and everything from my mum. My mum was a card reader, all of that stuff. So am I. And but she never ever turned around and said it was real. But she never ever turned around and said that it wasn't. She did not want to talk about that because when she was younger, before she had me, she'd had this experience that was not a nice experience with a spirit, a dark
Mm.
spirit.
Okay.
And she had to go to some witch friends that she was in with and have to ask them for a ritual to help to keep her protected because she kept seeing this energy. Even though he wasn't there anymore, she kept seeing this energy, and she'd been taken over at the time, so it frit her.
Yeah.
And she didn't want to entertain that anymore. And she'd been doing a board with her partner at the time when this
Okay.
happened, and it was this dark cloak energy come up to her and took her over. And after that, she said she didn't entertain any form of anything. And when she went to these ladies that were witches, they said, we can't give you that ritual till you find out and you know that you're pregnant. And my mum laughed at the time. She goes, I don't think so, sort of thing. And she comes back a couple of weeks later telling them that she'd found out that she was pregnant. They said, yeah. She goes, and the child needs to be protected as well because your first child will have abilities stronger than yours. So I have an elemental energy from these witches that looked after my mum, and when I was born became mine. So she works with me. I see through her. She sees through me. She's learned me how to connect with trees. She's learned me how to do all these sort of things. And in my witch faith, I love to use fire. She's a fire elemental, and I have fire in me.
Right.
That's why I work with dragons. I work with dragons as well. They are the best thing ever as well, but they're like fairies. You have to be very careful with them.
Right.
So it's always been there. And I would never ever change who I am now. And I always look back to like when I used to like be scared of it, and now I'm not scared of any of it. Yes, I'm cautious. Yes, they do give me a bit of a jump sometimes when they just unexpectedly come round or they do something silly, but I'm very open to it. Very open
Right.
to it. And I don't think I'd be happy if I wasn't who I am. So
Mm.
my mum's never put me away from that, which I'm thankful for. And obviously as I got older, started getting into all the things that she knew it was coming. She could see it. She knew because of the way I was. And I got into my investigations. I started doing YouTube. This is when she really started opening it to me. And she was like, okay, I know now, like fully know that you're there and everything. She goes, and I've got something for you. And she gave me 2 packs of cards she used to read.
Oh, wow.
Fortune telling cards and rune cards, old
Wow.
school ones. And she gave
Right.
them to me. And she goes, and I know that you're safe because I know that you do what you do right. and you've took your time to learn about that. So she has always been proud of what I've done. And now, God rest her soul, she passed away 7 months ago. So I have now another angel up there that is, I know, is looking over me and wants me to carry on doing this, told me she wants me to carry on doing this before she passed away. So here I am.
What is the name of the land that we go to? Is it the Summerlands?
Some people call it the Summerlands. Some people call it heaven. Some people call it the far world, because it's like far away, but it's not really that far away. To me, heaven is whatever a person wants their heaven to be. I don't think it's just one thing. I think it's everybody's heaven is everybody's heaven. It's what we would picture heaven as. But we're all in one place. We get to see that, but see each other, sort of thing. So, and up there, it's not just us. There's so many different realms with different beings, and we're all connected. We're all there, and we're all very together there. There's no separation or anything. Nobody's funny with each other or anything like that. So, there's nothing like down here. There's no struggle. There's no illness. There's none of that. Yes, they still have to work in their way by being spirit guides or doing whatever they have to do. Obviously, a lot of them will come back at some point in their life and start life again, because that's what we do. We reincarnate constantly, or we rebirth and come back again. We've had many lives.
I was going to ask you a question, and then that made me think of another question, and then another question. But before we go to our break, what would you say your mission is?
My mission is to be that person that people can rely on, that person that can open people to the true world and the way that reality really is. And I just want to awaken people to their true and inner spirit and power and energy, and to realize just how magical you can be as a being. We've all got this energy and this power in us. It's seeing it. There's so much in life and in this world that's put in front of us that takes that spiritual side away and takes that connection away from Mother Earth and Mother Nature. People need to learn to get back into that. That's what I'm trying to learn you to do.
Yes. Be in tune with nature. Get yourself grounded.
We are nature. We're Mother Nature and Mother Earth's children. They are in us. That's why when cycles and moons and seasons change, we hibernate. We get up, we get happy in the summer. We go down and we hibernate in the winter. We do no different to what our elements and our energies are doing, because we are connected to Mother Earth. We are her children. She is in us. We are made of all of the elements.
Indeed. Yeah. I always say that we're all connected because we're all made of starlight.
Yep, exactly. We did not start life here. We started it out there in that massive universe and beyond.
Do you believe in star seeds and soul travel?
I do believe in star seeds, and I do believe in soul travel. Like I've done, even like astral projection and things like that. I do that. I go to places awake and when I'm asleep, when I meditate, anything like that. So yeah, I very much do believe in that, and definitely light seeds. I've had communication and had experiences with ETs, and I've had communication and things like that. And people are probably going to shoot me for saying this, but we're all kind of a star seed. We're all star seeds, okay? But there's just some of us that little bit more of the light sort of shining us, and I happen to be one of them. And I've been told that I have connections to certain ETs, so the Pleiadians and the Lyrans are two energies that I'm supposed to be part of. So yes, I very much believe in those.
Same here. I had a reading done recently that confirmed that I am ancient Lyran Pleiadian, and
Yeah,
I was like, wow, that's cool. It doesn't shock
it
me, it
is.
doesn't surprise me that we can have an origin from somewhere else and still be human.
Exactly. And that's because we've had many lives and we are connected to many lives. See, I'm a person that very much believes that we always have the same soul. Um, it just comes in every life we have, and a little bit of that soul's always left in each life we have. So every life we've had is meant to be. And it's what's going to make that soul so lighted that one day we're not going to need to keep coming back, and we can be in our true land and in our true world and not have to keep coming back and suffering and things. I say suffering that, but being here, it's not suffering, it's learning and it's lesson. It's awakening us and heightening us so that we can be our better self,
I like that.
to appreciate what we have instead of trying to be greedy and taking everything.
I
It's
really
not
like
ours
that.
to take.
No, no, we were just here for a short time.
Yes.
And I believe that we shouldn't leave a detrimental fingerprint. You know, we should
No,
do it as much
you've
as
got
we
to,
can.
you've got to you've got to do good. That's what they want us to do. They want us to be good and open and loving and understanding and appreciate the things that we have. There's so many people that don't do that, and it's sad to see it. I'm not saying I've never made mistakes. Of course, we all have, but I know my love. I know my status. I know who I am
Right.
in this life. And that's how it's supposed to be. And I'm living that life, and I'm doing my work for them, for my higher power, my higher energy. I'm giving them their voice.
Well, thank
That's
you.
what I'm doing. You're very welcome.
We're going to go to break now, and we'll be back in 3 minutes. If I can get it to work.
Looking for breathtaking photography that speaks for itself? Whether it's the raw beauty of nature, the sleek professionalism of corporate imagery, or the infinite wonders of the sky, Donovan Pudoka captures it all. With over 10 years of experience, Donovan's lens doesn't just take pictures, it tells stories. His work is perfect for travel publications, corporate branding, artistic prints, or anyone who appreciates stunning photography. If you need high-quality images that elevate your project, Donovan Pudoka delivers. Have we sparked your interest in Donovan's work? Check it out at matrixminds/Pudoka. My eye promises you, you will not be disappointed.
This CBD fluid is a whole flower fluid extracted from the cannabis flower. We don't use any heat, butane, or chemicals when we extract, so we get all of the components of the plant. All the CBD, CBG, CBA, all the terpenes, all the flavonoids. This allows our body to absorb at 60 to 90% rather than the average of 6 to 10% absorption you would get with a CBD oil. Because our bodies are made up of mostly water and this is a fluid, it's highly absorbable so that you're getting 500% more nutraceuticals per dose. We also have this available in our CBD spray as well as a muscle rub with all kinds of botanicals. You're going to absolutely love it.
Check it out, Brainiacs. MatrixMinds.live/CBD. The CBD I use. Feel free again. Feel alive again.
Hey there, Hunter. Go check out our friends at Colorado Custom Game Calls. They are all about creating a high-quality, custom, unique game calls at an affordable price. They are here for hunters that can't and won't pay upwards of $180 to $200 per game call. They pride themselves on giving their customers the opportunity to not only purchase an affordable and high-quality call, but to customize their game call to their liking. So listen up and go check them out. That's www.coloradocustomgamecalls.com. They got calls for all type of game, and all the game calls can be custom made to your own likeness. That's www.coloradocustomgamecalls.com. Tell them Matthew sent you from the Matrix Minds.
What is up, all my beautiful and gorgeous souls? I am Michelle Espinosa, otherwise known as the Shaman, through the Matrix Mind Media. So tell me, how many times have you wished that you had that special power of prediction? You know, to know what was going to happen before it actually happened and took place. To have some power and control over that situation before things came flying at you out of left field. The thing is, you actually can have that power. You can be aware of what's coming. Tune in to Astrology TV with me for Breaking the Cage every Sunday evening at 10 p.m. Eastern on the Matrix Mind Media. And I will go through the astrology and help put you on the right course and get you back in control of your own life. Love you guys.
We are
Hello.
back. Yay, it worked.
Yeah.
Oh, we were talking about so many different things, and I had asked you about your mission, and thank you for being willing to be in human form. I know a lot of people may not thank you for that, but in my belief, we choose to be here. We have a soul contract, and for whatever reason, we chose to be here at this time.
Yeah.
So thank you, because
Yeah,
I
and
believe.
I'm open to that. And you know, I'm the first person. I know that there's probably a lot of people that probably sit there and think that I'm crazy and what's she talking about. And I know there's people out there that don't really appreciate what I do and that. But I've learned to see past that, because I'm not going to be sorry for being who I am and being open-minded and speaking. I'm not trying to change anybody. I'm not trying to make anybody into anything. I'm just simply learning and educating you to show you what you could possibly have if you actually found yourself and believed in yourself enough. I'm not pushing it onto you. I'm just telling you it's a beautiful thing. And if you're willing to go to that place, then do it, because it's truly uplifting. And it's, in my opinion, it's the true way.
Right. Well, I know for myself, when I got to a certain age, 60, I decided that I had earned the right to have my own beliefs, to not
Yeah.
be told what I should or shouldn't believe anymore, that I had earned the right to find out my own truth. It sounds like you did that a lot younger than I did.
It's hard to explain it. I just think that some people come here knowing what they are and who they are, so they're able to do it from a very young age. And from a very young age, but it didn't come easy, and it took a lot of them trying to make me trust them because I was scared of them. And then it was me having to make myself be able to have them trust in me, because I'd obviously worked them pretty hard to get near me because I was so scared of them. So I think that's what's built the relationship, and just over time, and how much I've been supported by them and how much they've got me through some really dark times. That's what opened my soul truly, and I knew who I was. I've always had that connection, and that did I know at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 that I was meant to be these things? No, but I felt it.
Right.
And I done it, and it was the right path. So I just walk my walk, the walk I'm supposed to walk.
What is the most important lesson that you have learned so far?
Thankfulness. Thankfulness. Love. Appreciation. And I've had to lose a lot to find that.
Right.
So I do know that I truly have what I'm supposed to have here, and I have the connections that I'm supposed to have. I'm educating the way that I'm supposed to, and I'm being what they want me to be. So
That has
to me, that
to
makes
feel
me proud.
good. That has to feel good to know that you are firmly on your path.
Oh yeah, it's so uplifting. It's so opening and so soul searching. You know, like you do search so much through it, but when you do find it, you truly open. And I've just for some reason always been able to do that from really young, just be able to do that. But I think if I couldn't do that thing and be that way, then I don't think I'd be half of what I am today. So I had to
Well,
go through that.
I'm grateful. And in that attitude of gratitude, if we wanted to call them to us, what would be the most respectful and productive way for us to let them know that they are around humans who would appreciate them?
Well, the first thing that I would give people advice on, whether it's spirit, for spirits I'll say first, and then I'll tell you about the fae. Okay, so with the spirits, a lot of that energy that you come across, they're going to be people, or they're going to be other energies of other places. So with them, it's a lot about respect and understanding, acknowledging them, saying, I know that you're here, I know in your energy that you're here, and I would like to open and connect to you in love and in light and in goodness. Always make sure you make it very clear that you're only wanting to connect with the good energy, because you
Right.
don't want anything negative coming to you. So doing that, putting crystals and candles and things around you to keep you safe when you're doing that. Putting incense like frankincense or dragon's blood or sandalwood or sage, just with a white candle, and your crystal. You can have your tourmaline, you can have your black onyx. These are stones that will keep away the negative energy, but also help to bring the good energy in. So doing those sort of things and just asking out to them, I know that you're here and I'm prepared to communicate with you. I'm prepared to understand you. Is there signs that you can give me? They could do it through vision. You could see them physically. You may get wording in your head. A lot of people, they hear that voice and they think it's just themselves talking back, and it's not. It's your consciousness talking to you. It's them talking to you. It's learning to tap into that and realize. So just showing them that you want to communicate with them will be brilliant. Putting things like offerings and stuff out, because it gives them energy. So foods, juices, some of them like alcohol, I will say that. Putting candles and stuff out and just opening to them and talking to them. I've got a whole altar to do mine. I am like literally dedicated. Like I'll show you. This is my altar.
That's beautiful.
And I've got a dragon altar over there.
Okay.
I've got a shaman altar over there. So I'm very dedicated. So
Yes, you are.
I communicate through lighting all my candles up. I call my gods and goddesses. You can call your guides and stuff to help you to do this as well. Everybody's born with guides. Everybody has got somebody that's there on the other side that is looking over you and protecting you, whether it's an animal, it's another being from another place, or it is a loved one or somebody from a past that's come to you in the present because they knew you. They'll communicate with you. Ancestors, elders, all of these people are here to communicate with, and they can help you to communicate with other beings of other places. So open to them and talk to them, and just put food out or even just a biscuit or something, just something, and some water or juice or anything like I said to you, and just be open to them. That's what they want you to do. It takes you asking them, because not all of them are going to step forward to you and communicate with you unless you ask. And the first thing I would say is get in communication with your guide, your soul guide. They normally will talk to you through the head. If you can physically see like I do, then I see them. So I will talk to them, and just like I'm talking to you, just be open to them. Treat them like people. That is what they are. Don't treat them any different to how you would treat them if they were alive. Just be respectful and be open and be loving to them. That's all it is. With the fae, it's a bit different. You've got to remember, you're going to be going into a relationship with something that is not of this realm. Even though it's situated in this realm, it's from another realm. Okay, now they look after this realm as well as their own. And as I've told you, they're not always so open to us. They're very weary of us. So you've got to build that relationship with them. But first, before you even think of doing that, do your research. Learn about their ethnics, their religions, their ways in the fairy realm, their rules, their essence, everything about them, things that they may be into, finding out what type of fae are in your area, because every fae in every country is different and likes different things. You need to research. Don't just go into communication with these beings unknowing, because you could be going into a really bad thing. They don't like disloyalty. They don't like to be lied to. They don't like to be told thank you. Do not say thank you to them. That to them is you having a hold over them, and they think that you owe them a debit. Don't ever say thank you to them. So you would just say something like, if they give you something, or they show you something, I appreciate what you gave me.
What a lovely thing to find.
Yeah. And a lot of people, there's so many things in books that people read about these creatures that they think the worst of them all the time. They think they're all going to kill you and they're going to hurt you. They're going to do this, they're going to do that, but they're not. Yes, they can be dangerous if you upset them. But if you work with them and you're open-hearted and you're honest with them, because they can see you a mile off, they'll know. Start with that. Start with the research. Start with being true with yourself, because never go to a fairy not being true to yourself, because they will not put up with that. They do not like that. That is against anything that they do. So you need to know that you want to communicate with them. Do not make promises you can't keep them, because they will not take that well. That's when you'll start having things go missing from your house and things like that, or bad luck. Things won't go right. They don't like being mistreated. They don't like to act like that, but that is their way. That's their rule. For them to work with us, we have to appreciate that. So studying, being pure and true to yourself, and know that you want to communicate with them. Do not thank them. Do not lie or pretend to be something that you're not. Just be you. Okay, they know that we've made mistakes, and they know we've moved on. Okay, so once you've done that, that's when you can start trying to communicate with them. Okay, so they like anything sweet: cakes, milk, cream, nuts, fruit, honey, butter, and bread. Fresh bread preferably, but if you can't, just if you get a loaf from the shop, that's all right. But if you can, bake your own bread. Little cupcakes. There obviously other things. They like different nectars from different flowers, honeysuckle, putting out their favorite little offerings like their snowflakes and their bluebells, little daisies, things like that. These are all things they like. Shiny things. Any old bits of jewelry you don't want anymore, put jewelry out for them. Crystals are another thing they love. They love crystals and stones. Hair clips, but nothing with glitter. Do not give them glitter, because it's dangerous and toxic to them, to animals, and to the earth. They don't like you to do anything that's going to harm them or nature or wildlife. That is their key that they look after. So if you're going to go and you want to give them nice glittery things, get the edible glitter. That's fine, because that's all right for them. Okay, so just put in these offerings out. Put them in a nice little dish, a dish that's just for them. Put some water or some milk in another dish, and just speak out to them. Go, I give this to the fairies, and I ask you to please come forward. I welcome you to communicate with me. Make it clear to them that you want to learn their energy and know their energy before you fully work with them. You just want to learn to build a friendship first before you start working with them. Make it aware, always make it very aware to them doing that, because as they'll take it all as that you're coming straight in. Okay, if you're going, if you're people that are not really sure about fairies and you're not sure if you want to, don't go putting fairy doors outside then, because you're putting an invitation to fairies to come to your garden. You put fairy doors down or fairy houses, these are immediate invitations to fae. So be careful what you do. It's fine to let children engage and work with them, but always keep an eye on them. And just remember that they don't take nice to anything, but they're normally quite open to children. And they like children. They like the innocence that children have. They like that openness. Okay. And the fact that they're really playful and fun, which is what fairies are. They are very energetic, very playful, very kiddie-like, but don't underestimate them. Don't disrespect them. Always honor them. Do not go putting food treats and things out if you can't do that on a regular basis.
Right. It's like putting out a bird feeder.
If you can't do that,
you know?
Just say, I would like to openly work with you, and I could maybe give you an offering once a week. Just be honest with what you can do. Don't go saying you're going to do something, then not do it, because they will not take nicely to that at all. That's like being disloyal. So do those things. Just keep pure and open to them. Do not make promises that you can't keep to them, because they will not take that lightly. And just speak to them. Ask them, what is the connection that you could have with them? What is it that they can learn you? Like, they're there to talk to you and stuff. Yes, they might get a bit playful at times, and you might have things fall off of your units once in a while, but it's like, I know 9 times out of 10 they're fine, as long as you're open and you keep to your promise. And just remember that once you invite them into your life, there is no uninviting them. And it can take a lot to try and get rid of fae, because of how fast they are, the energy that they are. So it takes a lot of time to be able to get them to go. Sometimes you wouldn't be able to get rid of them. So don't go opening to them if that isn't what you want. Don't go leaving fairy doors in your gardens or in your houses if you're not wanting the fae around you and things like that. If you do, and you want your children to be open to it, that's fine. If you want your children to be open to it, but you don't want to communicate with them, but you don't mind them being there, then put them out. But if you're not prepared to, and you don't want them there, don't do it.
Right. It would be the same. It would be the same as having a bird feeder out and not putting the bird, seed in there.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
So
that is exactly. I wouldn't have been able to explain that any better. It is exactly like that. It's like teasing. Taunting them. Why would you call me here? You say you're going to do this. When you go into communication with the fae and that, you go into communication because you want to protect them and love them and care for their places they look after. So when they're around and they're looking after the trees and they're making them flourish and look beautiful, and the bushes flourish and beautiful, Willow's up there doing the same thing, talking and praying over the things. And I do what they want me to do because I appreciate them that much, and I appreciate nature that much and the earth. So you've got to be open, guys, and you've got to realize that if you're going to go into communication with them, then you want more than just wanting to talk to them. They'll expect more than you just speaking to them. They'll want you to be somebody that looks after your planet.
I think mine come to me because I have so many indoor plants. And when I put them out, I welcome all the positive natural spirits that would like to look at my plants. And I always see little bits of light. Like if I take a picture, I can see just little bits of light. I actually saw a
and that's
video.
what they normally do. They're little tinkly lights, or you might get like little orbs. Sometimes you may get them in figures. I got my beautiful primrose on a video.
I was just going to bring that up on the other show that I met you on the Matrix Minds. You actually had a video of this tiny little being just flying around, and she was lovely.
Yeah, it was Primrose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she'd actually popped up to come and say hello to me, but very quickly realised that there was a big, massive object in front of her with a massive light, which scared the hell out of her, and she flew backwards and down past the gravestone. And me and my investigator witnessed this at the time. I see her physically coming. She always comes up to me. She always comes to welcome Willow. and she's with me most of the time. So she'd come up to say hello, but I shone my camera in the wrong direction, and it kind of like startled her, and she swapped direction. But she was fine though. She did come to see me after that exposure, and if she wasn't happy with it, she wouldn't have let that stay on there. They're very, very, very clever at removing photos and videos with them in it. So she was wanting to be seen.
There have been a couple of times during this recording where I thought I saw, just for a second, a flash of light. Is it possible that
More
she's
than likely.
making
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They're around all the time. All of the time.
That's beautiful. This is a silly question. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Oh dear. To fly. I just want to have wings like them, and I want to be able to fly and be able to see things the way they see it. You know, I only see what they can show me. You know what I mean? But I'd actually like to be up there above the trees with them and just seeing life from above. You know,
Right.
I'd love that.
Ancient Lyrans had wings.
Yes. Yeah.
I miss them.
And you always know when, like I do, I always get that little itch and tickle where the wings would be, like where they would used to be. I always get that. So, and sometimes like when I'm in nature and that, even though they're not physically there, it's like I do feel them release. The only problem is I just can't fly, which I just wish that one day my legs would just take off the floor and I'd be above a tree. I'd love that.
I used to dream of flying, and I didn't flap my arms or anything like that. I ascended. I don't know how, but you know, as a child, your imagination is limitless, right? So yes, I just ascended into the air, and I could, in my whatever dream state it was, I could look in at different people's houses. Well, then years later, I realized that was astral travel.
It is astro travel, yeah. I can do it, astro traveling, but I want to feel it and do it in this physical body.
Right.
I want to be able to make myself go miniature small like them, get some wings, and just fly above the trees, even if it's only for 5 minutes. It'd be so cool. I think it'd be a totally different experience to astro projecting and traveling, definitely.
I think that's why I love dragons so much, because they've got that sky view.
Yeah, when you look at dragons and you work with dragons and stuff like that, you do see a lot through them. You do. And you can feel that sense and that energy of flying when you're with them. Obviously, with the Fae, a lot of them are very small, so you have to be really in tune to feel it. And I do. Don't get me wrong. I do feel it quite a lot. But my human side wants to feel some wings pop out of my back and just take off and still be the size that I am, but not be seen, so that I can just see what they see as the little miniature people that they are. I just love that, just to be able to fly around with them instead of experiencing them down here and they're up there and coming to me. I want to be able to go to them.
Right.
In that way,
see what they see.
Just for 5 minutes.
Right. And experience their land. Oh,
Yeah.
that would be fascinating.
I've been through their land. I've gone there in like states and in meditations and stuff like that. There's certain things that you can walk through in your woodlands, and you're not in your woodlands anymore. You're in another place. I've done that, but
the fairy ring.
Yeah, and it wasn't one that was visual, because if it was one that was visual, I wouldn't have gone through it. I do not believe in stepping in their ring unless they say. But normally you would stand on the outside, you'd leave the offerings on the outside and stuff, because that is the place where they like to go in and out, but it's also their place where they dance and they get together and they celebrate the full moons and the other moons, and like it's a very secret place to them. So when you go into these fairy rings, you kind of you can't be seen by other people. Like, you kind of disappear for hours not realizing it, and come back and you're like, what happened, sort of thing. Like, how did nobody see that I was doing that?
Because you're
Well,
in a different realm.
it's because you've gone into this realm. So it is an amazing thing. It is. But a lot of my visits and stuff is through my dream state and my meditation state and stuff, where they'll take me, because it's a lot easier for them to be able to do it like that. But
Right.
I wouldn't advise you to just go start dreaming about them and trying to get them to take you. Like I said, you really do need to understand and have education with them. You need to build a relationship up with them. You need to understand each other before you start doing anything like that, because it can be very dangerous if you put your hands into the wrong one.
Right.
It's
Well,
really important.
friendships are not made in a day. You know,
No, they're not.
you can instantly be attracted to and love or like something, but it takes time to really get to know a person or place or a thing.
It
So
does, yes. And they're
I
not the most
enjoy.
easiest to understand, and they're not gonna give you it that easy.
No.
It's took me years of
Yes.
dedication and loyalty to them to be able to do what I do, and it's not very common for people to be able to catch them on phones and things like that. It's, some do, some don't, and it takes building trust with them and a relationship where you've never let them down for them to be that way with you. Once they open to you, then you know that you're truly on it, because the Fae are not that easy open-eyed.
Right.
They will make you work
Well,
for
good
their
friendships are worth the work, aren't they?
they are, but it's not in a negative way. It's just that
No.
they're cautious of us, and it's understandable. Look at what we do to ourselves. Look what we do to our planet.
Oh, I know.
We go cutting down their very homes and places and not thinking about the habitat and wildlife and stuff, and they don't like that. So if you're going to go working with them, be prepared to work. That's all I'm going to say.
I agree with you. Do you believe that this hour has already gone by?
It has, but it does when you're having a good time, doesn't it? And when you've
It
got very
does.
interesting things to talk about.
Well, thank you so much for being here with us. I hope you'll come back again.
Oh, of course, I'd love to.
Thank you. Well, that is all for now, my friends. Thank you so much for joining us. Never forget, you are amazing. You are loved. Be well, be safe out there. Protect your peace. And we'll see you on the next video. Bye.
Bless it be. Bye.
And we're out. Thank you so much, Sherry.
You're very welcome. It's been amazing.